Hey guys, a huge article just dropped on the Kotaku website talking about the future for Call of Duty. Apparently, Kotaku's sources are revealing to them that Call of Duty 2020 is in upheaval as Treyarch takes over and there's going to be plans of a Black Ops 5. The article reads, next year's Call of Duty has gone through a major upheaval as publishers, Activision informed developers this week that studios Raven and Sledgehammer, which had until now led the project, will no longer be in charge. Instead, according to three people familiar with goings-on at the companies, Treyarch will lead development on the new Black Ops for 2020. Ever since 2012, Activision has followed a 3-year cycle for its three lead studios, Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer. And apparently that is going to end as of next year. For 2020, Activision had originally switched things up, assigning the Wisconsin-based support studio Raven to take a leadership role alongside Sledgehammer to make a Call of Duty game set during the Cold War, likely involving Vietnam. As of very recently, that's changed. Now Treyarch, based in Santa Monica, California, is in charge of leading Call of Duty Black Ops 5 for 2020. According to those briefed on the overhaul, Treyarch will take creative leadership on this new Black Ops, while Raven and Sledgehammer will serve as support studios for the game, transforming the work they've done on their own single-player story mode into a campaign for Black Ops 5, which will also be set during the Cold War. This may be a welcome return for fans who criticize the lack of campaign in Black Ops 4. It will likely be a cross-gen game to coincide with the launch of the next PlayStation and Xbox, which are also expected in the fall of 2020. What this means is that rather than getting 3 years to make their next game after Black Ops 4, Treyarch will have just 2. Some at the company say they're not pleased about that and are already bracing for brutal overtime hours like they faced last year on Black Ops 4. Others have told Kotaku they're excited about the change as they have a solid game plan that isn't likely to change drastically, unlike their last 2 projects. At the end of the article, they talk about something really interesting, and a lot of people had suspected about Sledgehammer and how the 2 studio heads left the studio right after the release of World War II. It reads, the past year has been rough for the San Francisco-based Sledgehammer. In February 2018, Kotaku broke the news that Sledgehammer's co-founders, Michael Condrey and Glenn Schofield, had left the studio. Although Activision spun it as a promotion, saying they'd take on new executive duties, it was very clear an ousting, and the 2 quietly exited shortly afterwards. Earlier this year, Condrey started a new Silicon Valley studio with the publisher 2K, where he's recruited dozens of Sledgehammer staff. The studio has been hemorrhaging employees over the past few months, much to the dismay of those who remain. I don't know if you guys remember that, but Michael Condrey and Glenn Schofield had announced that they were leaving to go to Activision as VPs, and they both made this like kind of cookie cutter statement and changed both of their Twitter profiles to say the exact same thing. It was definitely a shock because World War II had just released, and now the founders and creators are leaving the studio. What was weird is that Glenn Schofield apparently got a promotion to be a VP at Activision, leading Sledgehammer, but on his Twitter, he was making claims that he was out in the desert for 4 weeks trying to deal with some stress. Now that does not sound like someone that got a promotion, but rather someone that got let go. Glenn Schofield and Michael Condrey had on their Twitter bios that they were both VPs at Activision, and they stayed there for about a year. And then after that, they both changed it and said that they both left Activision at the same time. So most likely what happened was, yeah, they were let go from Sledgehammer and they were off doing their own thing, and they just had to pretend like they were working at Activision. And then eventually, once all of the controversy died down, they could say, yeah, they moved on. So according to Kotaku, Sledgehammer fell apart and Treyarch is stepping in to hopefully redeem themselves from Black Ops 4 and the missing campaign, and going to be continuing the Black Ops series, creating a Black Ops 5, which means more zombies for us, hopefully. And if all of this is true and we're getting a Black Ops 5 for 2020, what would that mean for zombies? What would that mean for the Ether storyline, the Chaos storyline? What would Treyarch do after all this feedback that they've gotten from the community? So there's a lot of exciting news to look forward to. We've got hopefully Modern Warfare 4 about to be announced, and then all this new information. I cannot wait to see what happens. But let me know what you guys think, and we'll see you next video.
Thank you for watching Glitching Queen's video. Hoorah!